This is Nick with Build Brothers Roofing at 4383 Central Avenue out here in San Diego. Started my inspection. We got a composition asphalt shingle roof. This is an architectural asphalt shingle roof. This is the second layer of shingle that was installed on this roof. We got proper seam staggering throughout this roof. This is a fairly new product that's on the roof as well. We have proper step flashing along the chimneys. Ceiling looks to be in pretty good shape throughout these penetrations. We got new ridge caps that were installed on this roof as well. It looks like the penetrations were painted to match the roof also to give it a nice clean look. We do have some exposed nail heads on some of these flashings, some of these penetrations. It'd be a good idea to get those sealed off just to ensure proper waterproofing in the future. We can always do a roof tune-up on these roofs just to prolong the life expectancy of it. Another composition asphalt shingle roof over here, new drip edge as we can see. The shingle looks to be in pretty good shape on this roof also. One thing I will say is that there is a few signs of shingle stretching where they didn't use as much shingle as they needed. It's very, very small, but just a small little detail on that roof that I wanted to point out. Nothing that's going to be super substantial when it comes to the functionality of the roof though. This roof looks to be pretty good shape as well. All brand new shingle, all brand new drip edge on that portion. Some of the sealant could use a touch up, specifically some of these penetrations on some of these vents. I want to make sure that those are sealed off properly, so a tune-up would be a good idea. And then lastly, we have a flat roof over here. Everything looks to be fine on this flat roof. One thing I did notice is there's a section where the water is ponding. You can see right there. So essentially what that means is when it rains, you can see there's a little bit of a slope on that roof, but that water ends up just kind of sitting in that spot. Doesn't mean that the roof is bad, and it definitely doesn't mean that the roof is leaking. Now, that ponding is right on a seam. So if we do come out to do a roof tune-up, then my guys will go ahead and reseal off that seam just to ensure that everything is where it needs to be. But it would be a good idea for the homeowner just to keep an eye on that portion of the roof. Again, ponding water on a flat roof will always find a way into the roof or into the structure if the product itself is not doing its job. So just checking on that every once in a while after it rains, just to make sure that there's no water intrusion, would be a really good idea. But as far as the rest of the roofs go, all these roofs look to be in pretty good shape. There's a small section over here underneath the patio, or over the patio, where some torch down modified bitumen material is installed. And you can see that they did not counter flash it properly, but it is sealed off with caulking, and it is underneath the eave. So as far as water protection goes, there shouldn't be any water that gets into that portion of the roof. And then if any water does get on that portion of the roof, it will flow off properly. So I see no immediate needs for concern on this property. The roof looks to be in pretty good shape again, like I said. Now, we haven't had a whole lot of rain in the past few years, so whether or not this roof is leaked in the past is going to be impossible to tell. But from a preliminary inspection, just based off the overall condition of the roof and based off the age of the product, this roof has at least another 15 to 20 years left in it, probably a little bit more. That's it for my inspection.